Want to hear an open secret about illegal immigration? Many of you already understand what I'm about to share, but this is for those MAGA and ICE supporters that still give their money to the Republican Party. The exact same companies and CEOs who donate millions of dollars to the Republican Party specifically to promote anti-immigration policies, and that adds up to tens and hundreds of millions of dollars each election cycle, are the exact same ones who are promoting and paying for illegal immigration and labor behind the scenes, especially companies that are part of our food system. You remember in June 2025 when Trump said he was pausing immigration crackdowns on many farms and hotels? Why is that? That's because Homeboy got calls from some of his biggest donors who said, you can't do this to us. Let's first talk about the how companies support this. And it's as simple as making sure that managers on a farm don't forget to regularly communicate to undocumented workers, hey, be sure to tell your cousin Julio in Guatemala there's a job for him if he can get here, and let him know to bring any other able-bodied people who want to come along with. Funny thing about companies involved in human trafficking, it's even better and cheaper when you get the humans to traffic themselves. Now, let's talk about the why. We all know that undocumented immigrants will work for a lower hourly wage or rate than a legal worker. Companies don't have to pay them even the minimum wage because they are off the books. But there's a lot more money being saved than just the difference in wages between undocumented and documented workers. It actually costs the company about 20 to 40% more per hour than someone's hourly rate to legally employ them. For instance, if an employee makes $10 an hour, it costs the company about $12 to $14 an hour to employ them when calculating in the additional expenses of things like unemployment insurance, workers' compensation insurance, employer contributions to group benefits plans, retirement savings plans that documented workers would be eligible for. Also, undocumented workers don't get access to paid leave like FMLA and giving them paid time off. What are you, a fucking socialist? And what about when there's a downturn in business? Well, since these workers shouldn't even be there in the first place, the companies can just let them go with no notice and no pay. Sometimes companies have even been in cahoots with ICE to raid their own establishments. And when there's an uptick in business, well, guess what? They just do it all over again. The last remotely significant immigration reform package was passed in 1986 under Ronald Reagan. Since then, there have been several failed efforts, including a bill in 2013 that passed the Senate but did not pass the House. Donald Trump and the Republican Party had complete control of Congress and the White House, just like they do right now, from 2017 to 2019, and they did nothing on immigration reform. In February 2024, a Republican congressman from Oklahoma, James Lankford, proposed the most significant immigration reform package in 38 years. It had bipartisan support, and President Biden was ready to sign it into law. But Donald Trump, behind the scenes, called around and told Republicans he would have them primaried in the 2024 election if they voted for this bill, so it was dead on arrival. And of course, it was because passing this immigration bill would have been a major win for Biden and the Democratic Party in an election year. And Trump needed to run on the chaos of immigration as his main issue in the election. But that was not the only reason. Now let's factor in the hundreds of millions of budget dollars and contracts currently allocated to both ICE and prison corporations to detain and house undocumented workers. This is double dipping at its finest. They're making money on undocumented workers on the front end and on the back end. To say that Trump and his amigos are playing the American people on immigration like a fucking fiddle, that doesn't even begin to describe it. This has been fun. Have the day you voted.